Fortune Academy Real Estate Exam Questions Flashka 72 questions with explained answers. Flashcard 1. Term, novation, definition, substitution of new contract in place of initial contract new contract. Flashcard 2. Term, land, definition, surface of the earth extending upwards to infinity and downward to center of the earth. Flashcard 3. Term, delivery and acceptance, definition, have a valid deed there must be delivery and acceptance, with deed, meeting of minds. Flashcard 4. Term, adverse possession, definition, you move onto someone's property and act as if you have the right to be there. SC equals stay for 20 years open, notorious and hostile. Flashcard 5. Term, cooperatives, definition, a co-op owner gets stock, personal property, not ownership of stock certificates of real property. Flashcard 6. Term, escheat, definition, dies without a will, intestate, and no heirs can be found, the property will go to the government. Flashcard 7. Term, lien theory state, definition, mortgagor holds legal and equitable title to the property equals owner has title. SC is a lien theory state. Flashcard 8. Term, partially amortized mortgage, definition, fixed rate level payments based on period of time longer than actual term outstanding loan balance at end of period of time results in balloon payment 10-year loan, when balloon payment due, after 10 years, on 30 years, amortization period. Flashcard 9. Term, tenancy in common, definition, form of co-ownership where each owner has complete possession and the property goes through probate most common form of co-ownership in SC. Flashcard 10. Term, grantor sells a property to grantee, after the sale the grantor leases the property from the grantee, in other words, the grantor becomes the lessee and the grantee becomes the lessor. This arrangement is best described as a definition, sale, leaseback. Flashcard 11. Term, balloon payment, definition, final payment of mortgage loan that is larger than required periodic payments because loan amount was not fully amortized. Flashcard 12. Term, sale leaseback, definition, owner sells the property to an investor and leases it back to original owner from the new owner. Flashcard 13. Term, eminent domain, definition, right the government has to acquire privately owned real estate for public use. Flashcard 14. Term, estate, definition, degree, quantity, nature and extent of ownership one has in real property, possess property possession by lease equals leasehold estate possession by ownership equals freehold estate. Flashcard 15. Term, priority of liens, definition, real estate tax liens jump above all other liens. Flashcard 16. Term, if the mortgage payments are paid in full before the bank forecloses on the property, the mortgagor has a right called, definition, redemption. Flashcard 17. Term, under the cost approach method of appraisal, the term accrued depreciation would not refer to which of the following options: A. Downzone land, termite damagic, outmoded plumbing fixtures. External lighting fixtures in need of repair, definition, downzone land never appreciate land down to appreciate test. Flashcard 18. Term, hypothecation, definition, pledging of property as collateral for a loan without surrendering possession of property. Flashcard 19. Term, single most profitable use for a property is, definition, highest and best use. Flashcard 20. Term, closing, settlement or closing of escrow, definition, completing a real estate transaction accounting is made between parties, money is distributed, payoff of existing liens are completed according to terms of sales contract buyer accepts current property in condition. Flashcard 21. Term, CC and RS, definition, covenants, promises, conditions, contingencies, and restrictions. New subdivision and control the type of home that can be built, the cost, square feet, height, etc. become generally accepted that informing buyers concerning CC and RS is the agent's responsibility. Flashcard 22. Term, demand is not effective in determining the value of real property unless it is combined with, definition, purchasing power. Flashcard 23. Term, condominiums, definition, master deed must be recorded. Flashcard 24. Term, when a loan is assumed and the original mortgagor is released from liability by the lender it is referred to as a, definition, novation. Flashcard 25. Term, there is a word that indicates there is a lien on your property, however, you can still use the property. The word is, definition, hypothecation. Flashcard 26. Term, all of the following are private control of property except which one? A. CC and RSB conditions. Deed restrictions. Zoning ordinances. Definition, zoning ordinances. Flashcard 27. Term, acknowledgement. Definition, signed document before notary. Your signing is said to be an acknowledgement. Flashcard 28. term, general warranty deed, definition, gives greatest protection to the grantee and greatest liability to grantor. A promise strongest deed you can give or receive. Flashcard 29, term, social, definition, social unrest in an area will affect the value of the property. Neighborhood cycles affect value. Flashcard 30, term, assignment, definition, initial mortgagee signs over the note to third-party assignor retains liability. Flashcard 31, term, a home is sold for $45,000. If an 80% loan-to-value ratio is used, a discount of 4 points would be, definition, $1,440. Flashcard 32, term, when applying different weights to the approaches to value, an appraiser is using a method of reconciling data known as, definition, correlation. Flashcard 33, term, disbursement of funds paid first to, definition, delinquent real estate taxes. Flashcard 34, term, a person borrowed $3,000 for 9 months at 9% interest. What amount does he have to pay back at the end of the period including interest? Definition, $3,202.50. Flashcard 35, term, Bo owns a large tract of land and his home is next to the road. Bo sells the back part of his lot to John. At the time of sale, Bo gave John the right to use a 20-foot strip of land across his property for a driveway. This is an, definition, easement appurtenance. Flashcard 36, term, 2 lots were purchased for $4,000 each. You then made 3 lots out of the parcel and sold them for $3,000 each. What percent of profit did you make on this investment? Definition, 12.5%. Flashcard 37, term, substitution, definition, we normally buy a lower price property before a higher price property if it fills our needs. Is. Flashcard 38, term, summary of appraisal process, last step, definition, reconcile or correlate data and estimate value. Flashcard 39, term, zoning law classifications, definition, residential, commercial, industrial and agricultural. Flashcard 40, term, dedication, definition, given, acceptance is required transfer of privately owned property to the public without consideration. Flashcard 41, term, dominant tenement, definition, tract of land that benefits from the easement. Flashcard 42, term, certificate of reasonable value, CRV, definition, issued by approved licensed VA appraiser who must appraise property. Flashcard 43, term, Federal Housing Administration, FHA, definition, insures loans. Flashcard 44, term, joint tenancy has all the characteristics exact what, definition, heirs of joint tenants ration and survivorship interest. Flashcard 45, term, mortgage interest rates, definition, tied to movement of an objective economic indicator called an index. Interest rate is index rate plus a premium equals margin point equals interest tied to condition of money market. Flashcard 46, term, Yolanda wants to clear $90,000 on the sale of property after paying all expenses. If the brokerage commission is 7%, attorney fees are $300 and closing cost estimated to be $250. What must the property sell for to meet Yolanda wants? Definition, $97,336. Flashcard 47, term, most significant test to decide if an item is a fixture, definition, intent of the parties. Flashcard 48, term, police power, definition, adopt and enforce laws. Flashcard 49, term, income approach, capitalization rate, definition, method of determine value on net income. Flashcard 50, term, the sales price is $42,200 with a commission of 6.5%. The sellers also owe $483 in closing costs and $117 in prorated taxes. How much will they net at closing? Definition, $38,857. Flashcard 51, term, real property, definition, land plus things permanently attached. Flashcard 52, term, Master Plan, definition, cities and counties incorporate their long-term usage strategies and growth policies in a land use plan or master plan. Flashcard 53, term, for an investment property valued at $100,000 to earn 10% on the investment, the monthly income must be, definition, $833.33. Flashcard 54, term, fee simple subject to an executory interest, definition, an estate where, upon happening of designated event, title is automatically transferred to third party. Flashcard 55, term, cost approach, definition, estimate value of land as it were vacant. Flashcard 56, term, fixtures, definition, an item of personal property that has been permanently attached to real estate. Flashcard 57, term, covenant of warranty forever, definition, if grantee's title fails, grantor will compensate the grantee for the loss. Flashcard 58, term, certificate of eligibility, CO, for VA loans. Definition, certificate from the Veterans Administration eligible. Flashcard 59, term, servant tenement. Definition, tract of land over which the easement runs. Flashcard 60, term, a seller does not want to lose his low interest rate on his non-assumable loan or pay capital gains on the full sale price, so he agrees to finance the property himself and continues to pay payments to the first mortgagee. What type of loan is needed? Definition, wraparound. Flashcard 61, term, zoning laws. Definition, implements master plan through zoning laws regulate and control the use of land and structures within designated areas. Flashcard 62, term, metes and bounds. Definition, measurements and directions, courses and distances, based on monuments which are fixed objects used to establish real estate boundaries. Flashcard 63, term, mortgage interest rates are based on? Definition, state of money market. Flashcard 64, term, Adam grants a life estate to his mother. This life estate is based on the life of Adam's father. When Adam's father dies, the estate goes back to Adam. While Adam's father is alive, Adam's interest in the property would be. Definition, reversionary. Flashcard 65, term, tax lien. Definition, a real estate tax lien normally takes priority over all other liens encumbrance on property. Flashcard 66, term, granting clause. Definition, used to express the grantor's intention to convey the property, includes the word grant. Flashcard 67, term, license. Definition, personal revocable privilege to enter the land of another for a specific purpose. Flashcard 68, term, a developer buys a tract of land and subdivides it into lots. If the developer's loan covers the entire tract, which of the following is correct when he sells a lot? A. He must obtain a new mortgage for the remaining unsold lots. B. The buyer becomes liable for a prorated amount of the mortgage. Developer can't provide clear title to it until the mortgage is paid in full. Mortgagee may release its lien on the lot sold on receipt of an agreed sum. Definition, the mortgagee may release its lien on the lot sold on receipt of an agreed sum. Flashcard 69, term, easement. Definition, a right to use the land of another for a specific purpose. Flashcard 70, term, appurtenant. Definition, annexed to the ownership of one tract of land and allows this owner to make use of neighbor's land. Must be two adjoining lands owned by separate parties. Flashcard 71, term, the room is 100 feet by 9 feet. How many square yards of carpet will be required? Definition, 100. Flashcard 72, term, life estate per autre vie. Definition, based on life of some other person.